What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Weekend Wager Show, where we give you our 12-pack of plays to get you ready for this weekend. And it's a glorious weekend. There's so much happening. There's literally a college football game happening right as we speak. And so it should be a fun just day overall, but also a fun weekend as we look throughout the weekend. We have college basketball that's continuously going on. Then we have the bowl games for college football, the college football playoffs. There's NBA that's right back into the action, and there's also hockey. So there's so much going on. There's a lot of soccer, but we don't hit on soccer, so we're going to leave them out of this at this point. But we had a decent weekend last weekend, but I'd say we've never really had a losing weekend so far. But if you look on the right side, me and Robbie go 2-2. But if you look at all the juice, it's pretty much equaled out where it should be a decent and kind of an easy, profitable weekend. And then Mark came through for us with that 3-1. Mark's been our weakest link so far, we'll say. And he came through and was strong this weekend. So we'll get into all of that, our picks this week. And if you missed it last week, we did have a fun segment that we introduced, and it was the Slapshot Saloon. We also have our weekend vibes where we give you whether something is good, so good vibes, or the bad vibes as we head into the weekend. But we have these two. And so, Mark, you had the better weekend. How's your day, man? How are you?
I was doing great until you just handed me that little backhanded compliment of being the weakest link. And I can say that I've never gone 0-4 on this program, which is a good thing. But I am so excited because you were right. I'm going to start off, actually. There's so much hockey to be had this weekend. That's what I'm excited for. Followed obviously by college football. We got the NFL playoffs picture kind of firming up and getting solidified for us. There's just so much going on. I wish we had a case pick instead of a 12-pack.
Well, if you want to look for more picks, Mark, where would people, if they were thinking I need more than a 12-pack for the weekend, where else could they find some plays?
You know what? They can find plays from all of us on justastatsports.com. We cover everything from the NHL, NCAA football, basketball, NBA, you name it, it's up, it's covered, and we have been on fire. We just had between Robbie and I, in the NHL alone, we had an over 18-unit profitable day on Wednesday. So, yeah, get over there. It's free to sign up for the month. Use JTSS100 as the promo code and find out what's going on.
Yeah, go over there and sign up for justastatsports.com. Very easy. You get all three of us, probably less of me because a lot of my picks, just being very honest, I'm giving them out on Driving the Line on the normal shows that we have. And so extra picks, I don't always get extra picks because I've given out so many there. But anything I do, I actually put one up. I think it was yesterday, the day before that. I haven't done it in a while. So it's less of me. And now it's more of Boom Boom. Speaking of Boom Boom, we have his guy here. What's up, Robbie?
What's up, fellas? Yeah, I decided to go green, red just for the Christmas theme. So this week, I'm just going to keep it all green to start the new year.
I like it. Speaking of starting fresh and starting hot, let's go ahead and get to our plays today. And Mark, you had the better weekend last weekend. So go ahead and let you start off here.
I would love to. Well, that's last weekend.
I want to show people one more time how it looked.
One more time why I'm going first. We're going to take the Minnesota Wild under a goal in the first period, and that's at plus 135. Look, they're playing the Utah Hockey Club, and Utah is starting Karel Vejmelka in goal. He has been absolutely lights out and just stifling to the opposition in the first period. In his 16 starts, he's held teams scoreless in 13 of them for an 86% rate. The Minnesota Wild are not scoring a lot of first period goals to begin with. In fact, they're found their goal production to be kind of struggling at the moment. I love this spot, especially at plus 135. I'm hammering it.
I like it. So obviously a little bit, juicy there as we look at it, but sometimes it's worth the squeeze. I like it there, Mark. All right, let me go to
juicy. That's it's at plus 135. DG.
I'm sorry,
that's kind of minus 135.
Opposite. It's the gravy pick. Sorry, when you were saying, I thought, you know what? I thought I saw a plus number. I was like, well, you talk about juicy, that I always go to a big negative number. So it's gravy. I like a little bit of gravy. Is there any other word that we can give to a plus money play. That's the one I've always leaned on is the gravy. It's never caught on with anybody cool, so it doesn't actually make sense. But is there any other word that we could use for a big plus money play?
I always just say it's plus money. Let's ask the chat.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
say if there's a phrase or word that they like,
yeah.
yeah, let's do something.
Robbie, is there
Help us
anything
out.
anything we can use because we need something? I don't know if it's gravy or chat might have something better.
Kind of correlates with juicy. Just call it big booty play. There's a lot of love in there.
Lots of love. Yeah, we're gonna get canceled.
And that's it, boys and girls. Thank
This
you.
was a lot of
for
fun, guys.
All right, let me go ahead and get
I
this
tried to
thing
keep
back.
it PG, man.
Listen, I love it. I love it. Not sure we're going to be able to go PG-ish 13, maybe that was. But we're going to go ahead and back off from that one. But if you do like whatever the words, I like gravy. We'll figure it out as we go. But let me go to my pick. And I have Bobby Portis here. I struggle for a Friday night pick because I love Indiana, in college football, and the NBA is still going on. I just didn't know which direction I wanted to go to. Already have an Indiana play out, so I had to go with my guy, crazy eye Bobby Portis, to go over 1.5 assists at -120. He's had 8. He's hit 2+ assists in 8 of his last 10. Miami gives up the 7th most assists to the power forward, and so they're without Dame tonight, so that should give him a little bit extra. I know they don't play the same position, but they need some vets to get those extra minutes that are going to be there. And so Chris Middleton could return tonight, but either way, he had 3 assists in the last game. And so this is his first game after returning from the NBA Cup championship. So maybe crazy eye Bobby Portis can get some more minutes and cash us that ticket. But all right. So Robbie, you have a Friday play. I think you actually have 2 Friday plays, correct? All right. So let's go ahead and get to yours.
Shot.
Yep, let's go.
Yeah, we're going to go with Martin H's. He owes us one from last week. The only difference this week is it's at +100, not -140. The books think just because he's had an off week, I guess he's no good at hockey anymore. He's got 14 goals and 30 assists this season. He has 5 goals and 9 assists in his last 10 games versus Washington. So he's pretty familiar with Washington. He had a goal and 2 assists in the last matchup as well on November 3rd. And then the next play, it doesn't really coincide with Mark's, but it kind of does. Kirill Kaprizov, anytime goal scorer. Look, for you, Mark, if this just hits in the second period, I'm cool. But I think Kaprizov is going to hit. He has a goal in 11 out of 20 games this season. I mean, that's pretty damn dominant. So when they played on the December the 10th as well, he had a goal in that game. So just a little over a week ago, had a goal against Utah. I see him getting another one tonight.
All right, I like that. And a little bit on if you want to get more hockey plays, we do have our Slap Shot Saloon that is going to be where it's very similar to the gym, but we have so much fun doing that. We want to incorporate a new segment, something that we could kind of hold against each other over the weekend and throughout the week. And so we have our Slap Shot Saloon. I'm not exactly sure what our little logo will be. I think it might end up being like the beer mugs because that just seems more fun for sure. But it's going to be that first goal scorer, right? So the first goal, it's got to be +1,000 or more. Somebody on this panel was very chalky. I won't say who it was, but they're very chalky. And there's somebody who was the best odds out there, the biggest and best. And so we'll get into that in our third segment after we do our weekend vibe. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But we have Saturday happening, right? And we don't have a lot of college football. We actually don't have any college football plays on here, but I know Mark has one Saturday play. Before we get to Mark's Saturday play, which is another hockey play, let's go down. And Robbie, I want to talk through this because you brought this up before the show, and I think it's very important. So there's Boost out there right now. There's No Sweat plays that you can get from I know No Sweat is at FanDuel and MGM. But explain a little bit on maybe a play or something you're targeting or how you might be trying to use those.
Yeah, it really depends on what your unit size is and what they're offering you. So with FanDuel and MGM, they were only offering me a $10 no sweat. For something like that, I'm going to go probably not for a straight play, but probably a pretty big parlay, +300, +400, just so I can actually maximize it. And then if it misses, it's $10 I get back and I'll figure out what to do with it from there. But if you get one like 25, 50, and that's kind of your unit where you like to bet at, find a straight that you like, play it. It could be +100, -110. You still get some of that back. If it's a boost, it depends. If it's a boost or if it's a no sweat, you'll get your money back. But that's kind of how I do it. don't get caught like me. I almost placed a bet today on a straight. It was $10 was my max. And I was like, nope, back out. And that's when I texted you. I was like, yeah, we might need to talk about this.
Yeah, so check out the details. It'll say in the very, underneath all the explanation of everything of what the actual plus or minus odds need to be. But it could be the plus or minus odds on every play. So if you're doing a parlay and everything has to be at least minus 200 or better. But also, you need to make sure how much you're playing, because that's big for me. And I'll explain mine. But Mark, I want to kind of hear yours. Is there any way you're actually going to use one of these a certain way, or anything that you've already targeted, or anything you're going to do with one of those a boost or the no sweat tonight?
Yeah, it's a great question, because I think my perspective and my approach is very different from that of Rob's. I look at this as a no sweat is basically, hey, listen, you can take a risk or take a chance on something. It's not going to cost you, because you're going to get a free bet back if you lose, right? I look at the game with Pittsburgh and Baltimore on Sunday. Pittsburgh has beaten Baltimore. They're 8-1, I think, over the last 9 games. And all of those games have been decided by less than 1 score. That's a great spot to use a no sweat bet, not a boost, but a no sweat bet, to take a team like Pittsburgh, who is missing, Justin Fields and Pickens, they're out. But with that history and that trend, you can really take advantage of that and maybe cash in on a point spread and ride that with a no sweat. For a boost, I am using it tonight on Joel Embiid. His under 1.5 3-pointers made. The guy's played 6 games in the NBA this season. And so here, look, there's a free, stay on your toes type deal for the Weekend Wager Show. But we played it last weekend, and it hit for us, and it was at minus 115. Tonight, it's at minus 140. Use the boost there in a spot where you're going to get it and say, okay, I can bring this down and increase my winnings in a spot like that.
Yeah, no, I agree with both of those different directions that you want to go. And I probably favor more of Mark's side. So tonight, on my actual, I guess, no sweat, depending on how much it is, if it's $25 or less, I always take a shot, because worst case, I just get that back. On 50, I might try to see, can I, use a big 50 burger, which rarely have I ever seen one. But if I can get a 50 burger no sweat, then I'm going to go ahead and just see if I can cash a little bit. Like, I don't need to go crazy with it, because I'm going to get it back. But with the 25 or less, I'm always taking a shot. So tonight, my shot is Indiana and Notre Dame, the correct first quarter score. I went 7-7. Makes sense. All I need is both teams to score a touchdown. Indiana likes to get started off very fast. Notre Dame it seems like always score in the first quarter. And so at that point, I'm going to go 7-7 in the first quarter, because I'll get that back at the end of let's say it doesn't hit. I might be able to keep that again and play that in the exact same game, depending on what happened in the first quarter. But it's at plus 950. So a $25 payout would be $262.50. Robbie, you got something on that?
Yeah, I think my dyslexia kicked in. What I meant, like, if it's a $10 bet, I will bet like home runs, like 2 or 3 guys that hit a home run. If it's like something like that, mine is on money line and spreads for college. So it's either put 3 or 4 teams in a parlay for $10 or just let it go. Gotcha. I think I misspoke. Of course, that kicked in. So yes, I agree more with Mark, with what Mark said. If it's like a 10 or 25.
Okay, I thought so, but I wasn't sure. I was like, maybe you're just playing it safe. I get it.
No, I just misspoke.
All right, Mark, what you got?
The real question, I guess, and I would be interested in both your answers, is, so let's say that bet doesn't hit. What is your next play with that free bet? Are you betting to, are you taking another long shot, or are you looking to get as much of that back?
Robbie?
Depends on what the side. If it's 10, I'll probably take a smaller shot. I wouldn't call it a long shot, but maybe I go a little less on the long side. If it's like 25, I may find like a plus 100 just to get it back.
Yeah, I'm very similar. The $10 one, I will take a little bit of a stab, because what I consider that, let's say it's first touchdown plays, right? And I'm using my no sweat on a first touchdown play. What I might do is use that on a Sunday night. If it doesn't hit, I'm using that $10 that's free the same way on Monday night, right? And so I have really I have a really free chance. I have a $10 chance to win it on either night. And so I might do that. With a $25 one, I'm going to play a straight play just so I can get back to square one. And at that point, depending on what your unit size, you might take another stab. But for the most part, the $25 one, I don't try to get too crazy with that one. Not that it's that much more money, but that's usually how I kind of break it down in my mind in a sense. So good questions, good discussion. So I'm glad you brought that up, Rob, before the show. I want to hit on it, but because we don't have many college football plays, I want to make sure we touched on that. And I kind of was back and forth on what I wanted to play. I'm really liking MGM has both teams to score tonight in the Indiana Notre Dame game, the first quarter, 3+ points. It's at plus 110, I believe, the last time I saw it. So it might be something that you take a shot at tonight, but that might be another Stand on Your Toes live play. But I chose Bobby Portis tonight because I loved all my NFL plays. But the only guy with a Saturday play, and it's from hockey. So go ahead. You don't have a Saturday, right?
Yeah, I do.
I didn't think they said Saturday. All right, so let's go to Mark, and then we'll come back to Robbie. All right, Mark, you're up.
All right. Look, we're going to take the Montreal Canadiens on the money line at plus 100. Look, if you look on tonight's schedule for hockey, you're going to see the Detroit Red Wings and Montreal Canadiens. And on tomorrow's schedule, you're going to see the same thing. They are playing each other in a back-to-back game, and they are not switching up teams. In back-to-back games, Detroit is 0-1. Montreal is actually 2-1. And I think that I love this spot here for Montreal simply because they are going to get Alex Lyon in goal for the Red Wings tonight, which means that we're going to get Caden Primow in goal for the Red Wings tomorrow night, especially with because this is a back-to-back. Primow's numbers, his stats are absolutely horrible. How this guy is still in the NHL and hasn't been sent back down for, to gain a little confidence, maybe, find out and tweak some things and get better technique is beyond me. I don't think he belongs at this level. I really like the spot for the Canadiens, and at plus money or even money all day long.
I like it. All right. So we're going from hockey. Now we'll go on to the gridiron because I saw Nico Collins and I initially thought Sunday, right? Because why would you? And so that's on me. So I completely forgot that Houston and Kansas City's playing. So Robbie, you do have a Saturday play. So what you got here?
Yeah, we're going with Nico Collins, longest reception over 26.5. Found that at FanDuel this morning. It was still there around noon when I checked. Kansas City has allowed this to 6 different wide receivers this past month. Josh Palmer, Trey Tucker, Jacoby Myers, Adam Thielen, and Xavier Legette. I would go on record and say Nico Collins is better than all of those guys, and he has a pretty good quarterback as well. I know he's having a pretty rough year this year, but I think Nico can hit this in maybe the first, second quarter because Kansas City, as good as they are, they keep games close, and wide receivers are getting open on that secondary.
No, absolutely. I'm curious about the weather because they're playing in Kansas City. Have you looked at the weather? I don't think it's going to be bad, correct?
I don't think it's going to be bad. I mean, it'll be cold, but I don't think it's going to be bad. He's hit this too in his last 8 of his last 10. The only one that he missed was, of course, last week. Then there was one kind of in the middle of the season. He got 26. He didn't get 26.5, but he got right at 26. So got the hook on that one.
Yeah, that'll piss me off for sure. That half on one of those long ones just makes me mad. But we have Lord Farquaad here. Shout out to you for always hanging out with us. I think he's got to get out of here, but just kind of everybody, and this is from us as well. Having a great weekend, but also a Merry Christmas. We're going to have another show next Friday because of the way this all works out. The weekends and the Fridays are completely open, and so just want to make sure that everybody understands from us. Do have a Merry Christmas for sure. But that's for my play from Daniel Long. Yeah, it looks like they pulled it out. Whatever, it is what it is. Maybe they are scared. My issue with that first quarter play for tonight is DraftKings does not put it up. They're the ones that always has it up, and they have yet to put it up this entire time. And so the only reason I haven't personally played it is because they have not actually put it up so far. And so I was hoping to get better odds at DraftKings compared to MGM. So I'm going to hold out hope, and I'm going to hit it at some point. I'm just trying to wait and see if DraftKings will be nice because they have the better odds. But it looks like Matty Ice saying that it's 30 degrees calm right now in Kansas City. I had no idea that Matty Ice is even in Kansas City. So I thought he was somewhere else.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, him and I think Coach's dad baptized him.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, how the world turns. All right, let's keep this show going because I am completely slowing it down. We still got to get through the weekend vibes, the Slapshot Saloon, and I was told try not to go too long again because it seems like we always talk way too long. But I have a 3-pack for you on Sunday. I couldn't figure out what I want to do on Saturday, so I kind of just left him alone. I'll probably eventually play something, and I'll have it on justicestatsports.com or have it on Driving the Line when they put out their on-demand show. But I'm going to start off with DJ Moore, over 54.5 receiving yards at -113. Detroit allows the third most receiving yards to the wide receiver. He's covered this in the last 4 games that they've ever played. He had 97 yards on 16 targets versus Detroit when they played on November the 28th. So I'm going to ride with DJ Moore here. Then we're going to go with James Conner. This dude is going to run wild all over the Carolina Panthers. I have him for over 83.5 rushing yards at -115. Carolina allows the most rushing yards to the running back. But the last 3 games that they went against the running back, Rico Dowdle, 149 yards. Saquon Barkley, 124 yards. Bucky Irving, 152 yards. James Conner is going over. Then my last guy, Baker Mayfield, over 13.5 rushing yards at -115. This is the Sunday night game going against my Cowboys and Robbie's Cowboys. But going against the Cowboys here, he averages 19 on the season. Tampa Bay, honestly, they still have something to play for. And so I think old Twinkle Toes Baker Mayfield is going to run against the Cowboys. And so I wouldn't doubt this eventually moves up. I got it at 12.5, to be honest. It's now at 13 and 14.5 at most books. I don't doubt this goes up to 25 yards for Twinkle Toes Baker to run off this weekend on the Cowboys. So I really like those 3 plays for Sunday. But we still have a Sunday show or Sunday plays from you guys. So let's go ahead and start off with Mark. We'll kind of keep it going around the horn. Mark, what you got for Sunday?
Perfect. We're going to go to Seattle, where the Seahawks are taking on the Vikings. And look, it's one of those games you just mentioned. There's some teams that still have a lot to play for. And I'm taking Jackson Smith Njigba over 60.5 receiving yards. That's at -110. I got that on DraftKings, and I would tell you, go get it now because all the other books have this line either at 63 or 65 yards. DraftKings had it at 60.5, and I jumped all over it. I love this spot for him simply because Seattle needs to win. And with Minnesota being favored, I look for this as a real good spot for JSN, someone butchered his name. I really like this spot for him simply because I think that Seattle plays from behind. He's cleared this line in 7 of his last 10 games. He has clearly started to become the Geno Smith favorite as far as targets. And with 7 catches last game for 148 yards, I just love this spot for him. I think the 60 line is way too low. With that, I'm going to stick with a nut. This one came right off of the model projection. The Jaguars are a 4-star rated model projection, meaning that they're projected to win in all 4 of the models that we use for the NFL. They're playing a Las Vegas team that will have to face Mac Jones, and in Mac we trust, simply because in his 3 games that he's played with Trevor Lawrence going down, Trevor Lawrence went down in that Houston game in the second quarter. Mac Jones came in and threw for over 200 yards against the Houston Texans in that game. So he's cleared 200 yards in all of the games. He's kept them very close. I'm trying to remember who they just – it escapes me who they just played. But I like this spot for them to win, Mac Jones to kind of solidify his spot as that backup quarterback until Trevor Lawrence just underwent surgery. So this is Mac Jones's team for the rest of the season. Look for him to take ownership. I love this spot for the Jaguars at even money.
I saw the model come out and it had that as a 4-pick play. What's the record on the, I guess the 4-pick play so far throughout how they're put out, from the model?
17-1. The only team that lost was New Orleans.
That's nuts. I saw the Jaguars on that when you put that out earlier this week to us. And one, I think Mac Jones sucks. I think he's one of the worst quarterbacks. And so when I saw that, I almost threw up my mouth. But now that you're playing on the show, it makes me I hate it, but it's like almost like the record's 17-1. Are we getting a little crazy at this point?
Right. How do you argue with it? You know what I mean? It's
I agree. So it's tough, but anyway, I love it. Great place. Looks like Matty Ice loves your JSN pick as well. And so go ahead and get it if you want to go ahead and get it now. But the last one we have, this is the 12 of the 12 pack we have is for you, Robbie. What you got here?
Yeah, I'm going Malik Neighbors over 64.5 receiving yards. This is probably going to be a sloppy game. You got Michael Penix, who has not started a game or I think even played in a game this season, starting for the Falcons. On the other side, you've got the New York Giants, who I think their water boy may be playing for them this weekend. But I don't think a lot of defense gets played in this. Here's some guys against the Atlanta Falcons who's gone off. Jordan Addison had 133 yards. Justin Jefferson had 132, and Ladd McConkey had 117. They are allowing a lot of receiving yards each game they play. I just see this kind of being an ugly, sloppy game, and that plays in for us for Malik Neighbors. His rookie year, no matter who they've had at quarterback, he still does really well. So I like Malik Neighbors this weekend. It's starting to go up. So kind of like what Mark just said, you might want to get it in now.
Yeah, I hate trusting the Giants to do anything. Like I just hate it. It literally makes me throw up to root for the Giants at anything in life, let alone now that they are sucking even more than they already did beginning of the season. Malik Neighbors is incredible though. So we'll see.
It hurts too.
Yeah, it's tough. It does hurt, but Malik Neighbors is incredible talent, and he should be a guy that you can definitely ride for sure. Especially find these diamonds in a rough that nobody's really paying attention to because their team does kind of suck. So this might be a good look. So all right, I like those plays. Maybe we go 12-0. Why not? Let's get a little crazy around here and go 12-0. Now the show after would be pretty fun. We'd somehow bomb 0-12 the next show, but that 12-0 would be awesome. But let's go ahead and make this a little bit quicker than we normally do because we're running up on 30 minutes already. But we do have our weekend vibes, so let's go ahead and get to them. And Mark, you've started off all show, so let me keep it rolling with you. You got any good vibes or bad vibes for this weekend?
I've got some great vibes, and shameless plug here, JustTheStatSports.com. Every single day we give out a free daily pick, and it is our NBA, NHL, NFL, whatever sport is playing, we have a play of the day for that sport. They have been hitting at a phenomenal rate. I'm telling you, just go check out the free pick of the day. Even if we'd love for you to subscribe. If you don't and just play the free picks, I'm promising you're going to be profitable. We had a clean sweep of the board last night, hitting all three of the plays of the day. Those are the best vibes that you could possibly go into the weekend with. That's my best vibes.
Yeah, you're also getting good vibes as well from Randall Mims with the Mims Lumber hat over your left shoulder. Shout out to honestly all the DTL crew. But the Mims hats are going like hotcakes. I swear. AB has them and they just fly out to everybody. But we have another good vibes, bad vibes. What you got, Robbie?
Yeah, I'm going good vibes. As soon as I get out of here, I'm going to turn on my Gators game, keep my door shut, and act like I'm in a meeting until I get out of here.
I like it. Real quick on that game, it does start here in about a minute. They'll probably start afterwards because TV is crazy and why they tell us it's 2:30 when it's actually, or 3:30 when it's actually going to be 3:36 randomly. But any pick on this game at all?
Yeah, I actually took Florida -12.5 when it came out, just because of what AB said today. Tulane ended the year on a down note. They're down to their third string quarterback. I will say that third string QB, I think he was actually recruited by Oregon, so he's not a slouch. He's a dual threat. He's a good quarterback. Florida may have to adjust to him, but I just think DJ Lagway, when you factor him in, that gives you 10 points. The line is now at -9.5 at FanDuel, so I still like my 12.5. I'm keeping it that and rolling with it.
All right, I like it. All right, so I have a good vibes this weekend, but I almost didn't think it was good enough. So I went with immaculate vibes this weekend. And honestly, for some of you, Jonathan Supowitz, I'm going to help explain what maybe immaculate is because that's a big word for you if you're watching this. It means free from flaws or mistakes. Perfect. So it's an immaculate weekend. Soupy. And it's going to start tonight with Indiana, when the Battle of Indiana, as they go in to take on those Catholics. I don't want to play like a champion today. Get that out of here. Anyway, Indiana goes in. It should be a great weekend just overall for those Hoosiers. But I will say, we're talking about so many sports happening right now. We're heading into the holidays. There's NFL on Saturday. There's NFL on Sunday. There's NBA through the entire weekend. There's the college football playoffs that's happening. I'm not a big hockey guy, but I've talked about how much hockey there is this week. There's so many sports going on right now that I just consider this a crazy time to kind of get the sports fan ready as they head into the holidays with family. It's just our last weekend that we really have so much fun to really enjoy the sports together. So I'm going to have an immaculate weekend. And Soupy, you can choke on your play from the show today. All right, let's go ahead and get into, and I heard that, right? I just didn't have a chance to respond. I'm literally walking in my kids' classroom when I saw that come through, or I heard it right before I walked in. But either way, we have our Slapshot Saloon that we did not hit last weekend. But we have the Slapshot Saloon that we're starting back. And tonight we're going to the Toronto Maple Leafs against the Buffalo Sabres. You started off this entire show so far, Mark. So go ahead and give us your pick for the person who scores first.
I am going with Taj Thompson. I love this spot for Buffalo simply because, well, first of all, let me preface this. Buffalo is on an 11-game losing streak. Okay, they've been playing absolutely horrible hockey over the last 11 games. In those 11 games, they have actually gone 8-2-1 as far as winning the first period. They get off to super fast starts. Taj Thompson leads the Sabres with goals scored. I love this spot. I think he gets on the board quick and soon. Put me in the saloon there, Hoss. You're on mute. There's another membership.
That is.
Hoss.
I'm trying to take a drink of water. Put me in the saloon, Hoss. Never thought I'd hear that for sure. But let's go ahead and go with yours, Mark. What you got? Not Mark.
My name's
Robbie. Sorry, keep going.
I'm going Chalky. I'm going Austin Matthews. Why? Because he's one of the best players in the NHL, and it was plus 1,000. I don't care what people say at the pay window. Just give me my money. So Austin Matthews plus 1,000.
Mr. Chalky McChalkerson over there. My God, I saw that come out, and I'm like, all right, I see that it's available on DraftKings at plus 1,000, but no other book had it at plus 1,000. Everybody else was plus 950, plus 850. So I get you're playing the game.
My plus 3,300 should have hit last week. Should it have not? Didn't they call my plus 3,300 back? It was a no-go last Friday night.
So when you go to the pay window with a ticket, do they say, oh, yeah, we're going to pay you because this one should have hit?
No. I'm just saying. I gave y'all plus 3,300 last week, and I didn't hear nobody complaining. Plus 1,000, you could put a $10 on that and make a pretty good profit off it.
All right, since I am the professional hockey capper here, we're going to roll with my pick here. And I got another guy's name that I can pronounce. It's going to be Jack Quinn. It's at plus 2,800. And I went and played this myself because why not, right? At this point, I have to play it. I'm not just going to give this out if I'm not putting on some money on it. But Jack Quinn's actually fared well when he's won against whatever team that he's playing for and whoever he's going against, because I have no idea who he plays for or who he's going against. But the number says that he has a good former, I guess, competition that he goes against. So I have no idea if he's going to ever get on the rink, we'll say. But I do know that plus 2,800, and he has a good, I guess, former relationship with the competition, we'll say. I like it. So does Jack Quinn even get onto the ice? Does anybody know?
There is so much to unpack with what you just said. Jack Quinn will get on the ice. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Good. I like it.
Yeah, Raphael calls that a donation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So Dan's wanting to play William Nylander. All right. So let's make a rule. I'm down with putting their name on the graphic. If before the show ends, in the live show, you put in somebody that is not on the screen or has not been put up from a comment. Does everybody agree with that? Cool. All right. So if Dan hits, Dan can claim William Nylander at plus 1,000. TJ's got Knives. No idea who that is. Can we get a
Nivis.
first
for
name?
Toronto.
Nivis.
Who?
Nivis.
Yep, I agree with you. Mr. Knives at plus 1,800. So
Made that up.
yeah, Nives maybe. I don't know. We'll go with Knives for
I know who
1,800.
he's talking about.
I
Yeah.
have no idea. Anyway, so if you for some reason get into the saloon with us, we'll go ahead and throw your name up there just because we want to make sure that we're showing some love to the chat. So if you're here watching us, I can't thank you enough. But let's go ahead and end the show because I butchered the Slapshot Saloon enough because I have no idea what I'm doing. But I promise you, I will figure out a way to be good at this, just like I figured out a way to be good at the gym, thanks to Mark. But I'm going to go ahead and keep this rolling, and we're going to figure out a way to get the first goal scorer. But that's all we have today on the show. Robbie, go ahead and close us out. Your final thoughts.
Yeah, just like you said, DG, it's the last week before Christmas. Spend some time with family, sit around, watch a lot of sports. There's plenty of sports to watch on TV. Or you can do like me and go look at Christmas lights tomorrow night and watch it on your phone. So, but no, for real, y'all have it. I won't see some of y'all, so y'all have a Merry Christmas. And yeah, see you next Friday.
All right, I like it. Tom Wilson plus 1,800 from Daniel Long. He's trying to get into the saloon. I like that we have the saloon word. That makes me like
Wilson
smile.
plays for Washington though. It's got to be in the Buffalo and
it's got to be
Toronto
Buffalo
game.
Sabres, Toronto.
Got to be Toronto or Buffalo.
I knew that. I was just wondering if he knew that. We got to get in this game. I don't even know what game we're in. So anyway, I'll go with who?
Alex Tuck.
Tuck.
All right, listen, I'm just going to let y'all do this. Mark, you actually have the controls enough to pull these up. So if you do see somebody that says something, please bring up the name, verify that they do play for the right teams because I would, but sometimes I forget. So I'm going to let you go ahead and go with that. But Mark, go ahead and give us your closing thoughts on the show.
I honestly wanted to hear you say tush.
I would have. I would have probably said.
I've already ruined that for this show. I'm not talking.
Look, I just want to wish everybody a very, very happy holiday. This is a crazy time with family. Outside of sports betting, outside of this show, be safe, be kind, be patient with each other. And I wish you all the very best. And thank you so much for the support.
For sure. And it's been this has been fun. This has been a lot of fun. It's helped. It's helped us kind of continue the relationship of kind of hanging out and keeping this going. But it's also this show has been really good for me and just kind of developing a lot of my skills, but in general, growing the DTL brand. And so the last thing I'll say, it's going to be a fun Christmas. I know Christmas with kids is always the best. And so that's what I really enjoy it for them. Me, I'm just an old grumpy guy at this point in life. So I just want a good sport to watch as I'm having to go from house to house and do different things with family. I'd rather probably not really do the small talk with. And so I would love to have a sport to watch. And so that's what I'm very thankful for sure. So Daniel's coming back in. I almost took this guy, Marner, plus 1,600.
Mitch Marner.
Yep, Mitch. I like Mitch. Good player. He'll get on the ice pretty quick, I bet. But yeah, so overall, thank you all for kind of hanging out with us. We hope that we keep doing things that gets everyone with the crew more involved, but also kind of makes the show what it is kind of the interaction as we go back and forth. But everybody have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. We'll definitely see you all back, I guess, next Friday.
Right.
Don't miss it. We'll see you all as we party at the pay window.